Welcome to Numismatic Vault, the channel where coins aren't just spare change, they're hidden treasures waiting to be found. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable Washington quarters. Some of these coins are worth far more than you'd ever imagine, and the best part, they could be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your change in a whole new way. Top 1 today, we're going to uncover the hidden story of a coin that many people have handled countless times without realizing its true potential, the 1994 Washington quarter dollar. This coin may look like a simple 25-cent piece, but for sharp-eyed collectors, it carries secrets of rarity, minting errors, and extraordinary value. Listen carefully, because by the end of this video you'll see how this seemingly ordinary coin could actually be worth a fortune. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse has always featured the iconic portrait of the nation's first president, while the reverse, until the start of the state quarter program in 1999, displayed an eagle with wings spread proudly. By 1994, the design was familiar, but that doesn't mean these coins are without their surprises. The 1994 Washington quarter was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco for the proof versions. Hundreds of millions of them were produced, making them appear very common at first glance. But as any seasoned collector knows, not all coins are equal. The magic is in the details: condition, grade, and rare minting errors. Let's begin with condition. The vast majority of these coins entered circulation, where they were tossed in pockets, passed across counters, and jingled around with other change. That everyday use left behind scratches, nicks, and wear that significantly reduced their collector appeal. Finding a 1994 quarter in pristine condition, untouched, uncirculated, with full luster and sharp details, is far rarer than most people realize. Professional grading services award high grades like MS-67 or MS-68 to only the finest examples, and those elite coins can be worth far more than face value, but what really excites collectors are the errors. Minting errors transform a common coin into something extraordinary. Some 1994 Washington quarters have been discovered with double die errors, where letters or details appear shadowed or duplicated. Others show off-center strikes, creating a dramatic and unusual look. Wrong planchet strikes are even more remarkable, where the quarter design was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a dime or other denomination. Missing clad layers are another possibility, revealing the copper core and giving the coin an unusual two-tone appearance. Each of these errors is unique, making them highly desirable in the eyes of collectors. Proof coins from San Francisco are another highlight. These coins were specially struck with mirror-like fields and frosted designs, meant for collectors rather than circulation. Silver-proof quarters, in particular, are especially sought after, not only for their rarity but also for their striking beauty. If you happen to come across a silver-proof in excellent condition, it could easily command strong premiums. Now imagine this scenario: you're sorting through some spare change or an old collection, and you notice a 1994 quarter that looks just a little different. Maybe the strike is off, maybe the details are doubled, or maybe it's so pristine it shines brighter than the rest. That could be your moment of discovery, the kind of find that makes collecting coins such a thrilling and rewarding hobby. So, the big question remains: how much can a 1994 Washington quarter really be worth? While most examples are worth only their face value of 25 cents, the rarest ones, those with dramatic minting errors or those preserved in the highest grades, have shocked collectors at auctions. Believe it or not, one of these rare coins has been valued at an incredible $86,000. Yes, you heard that right, $86,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1994. That's why every coin in your pocket deserves a second look. What seems ordinary today could turn out to be a hidden treasure tomorrow. Top 2, we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1995 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin might look like any ordinary piece of change, but for those who know what to look for, this year holds some incredible surprises that could transform an everyday coin into something worth an astonishing amount of money. So, coin lovers, listen carefully, because this is one story you won't want to miss. The Washington quarter has been a familiar face in American coinage since 1932. Designed by John Flanagan, it features the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse and the proud American eagle on the reverse. By 1995, the design was nearing the end of its long run, just a few years before the famous state quarter program began in 1999. That makes the 1995 issues especially interesting. They represent the final years of a classic design that had been part of American life for more than 6 decades. The United States Mint struck the 1995 quarter at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for everyday circulation, while San Francisco produced special proof coins for collectors. With hundreds of millions minted, you might assume these coins are too common to matter, but the truth is far more exciting. Condition is one key factor. The majority of 1995 quarters have seen years of use, leaving behind scratches, worn details, and dull surfaces. However, a small number managed to escape circulation, remaining in pristine, uncirculated condition. When graded by professional services, coins that achieve very high grades like MS-67 or MS-68 can fetch impressive premiums, because they are so rare. The difference between a quarter worth 25 cents and one worth thousands often comes down to condition, but what really sets certain 1995 quarters apart are the minting errors. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins each year, and occasionally mistakes slip through. These mistakes are what collectors call errors, and they are among the most exciting finds in numismatics. Double die errors are some of the most sought after. In these, the design elements such as the date, motto, or lettering appear doubled, creating a striking and unusual appearance. Off-center strikes are another type of error where the design is not properly centered, leaving a dramatic blank area on the coin. There are also wrong planchet errors, in which the design of the quarter was mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, such as a nickel or dime. These are extremely rare and can turn a simple coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Another fascinating error is the missing clad layer, which reveals the copper core underneath and gives the coin a unique look that is immediately eye-catching. Each of these errors increases the desirability of a coin and can make it worth many times its face value. Proof coins from San Francisco deserve a special mention as well. These coins were struck with extraordinary detail and mirror-like surfaces, created specifically for collectors. Some were even made of silver, adding both beauty and intrinsic value. If you happen to own a silver-proof quarter from 1995 in perfect condition, you may already be holding something very special. Imagine the thrill of going through a jar of old change and suddenly spotting a quarter that looks different, a sharper strike, a double detail, or a shining luster unlike the others. That's the kind of discovery that fuels the passion of coin collectors everywhere. It reminds us that history, artistry, and chance all come together in the coins we use every day. Now, let's answer the question on everyone's mind. How much can a rare 1995 Washington quarter actually be worth? While most examples will only ever be worth their face value of 25 cents, the rarest ones, those in pristine condition or struck with dramatic mint errors, can bring truly jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. In fact, one such quarter has reached a value as high as $83,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $83,000 for a single quarter from 1995. That is why collectors continue to examine even the most ordinary-looking coins with such excitement. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story comes with an unbelievable reward. Top 3. We're taking a closer look at the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1996. At first glance, it looks like just another everyday coin, but don't be fooled, this year hides some fascinating surprises. If you're a collector or even just someone curious about what makes a coin valuable, listen very carefully and enjoy the story, because this one might just inspire you to start checking your change a little more closely. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, when it was first introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design by John Flanagan became one of the most recognized faces in American money, with Washington's profile on the obverse and the bold American eagle on the reverse. By 1996, the quarter had already been circulating for more than 6 decades, making it part of everyday life for millions of Americans. This particular year is also historically important because it marks one of the last few years before the U.S. Mint launched the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999. The 1996 quarters were minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, the Denver coins carry the D mint mark, and San Francisco produced both clad and silver-proof coins for collectors, all marked with the S. While hundreds of millions were struck for circulation, what makes some examples rare and expensive has everything to do with condition and errors. Condition is always a major factor in value. Coins that went straight into circulation naturally show signs of wear, scratches, flattened details, or discoloration. But a small number of coins escaped heavy use and have been preserved in pristine condition. When professionally graded at the highest levels like MS-67 or MS-68, these coins can sell for thousands, simply because so few exist in such remarkable quality, but the real excitement comes when we talk about errors. Minting errors are like nature's little accidents, making each one unique and often highly collectible. Among 1996 quarters, collectors search for double die errors, where the lettering or the numbers in the date appear doubled under magnification. Such coins stand out immediately and can be worth far more than their face value. Off-center strikes are another fascinating error. These occur when the blank coin planchet isn't perfectly centered in the press, leaving part of the design cut off and a blank crescent visible on the surface. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin. Then there are missing clad layer errors, where the nickel coating is absent on one side of the coin, exposing the copper core beneath. This gives the coin an unusual appearance and collectors are willing to pay generously for it. One of the most dramatic errors involves wrong planchet strikes. This happens when a quarter design is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or even a foreign coin. These are extremely rare and highly prized among collectors. Imagine pulling one of these from circulation. It would be like winning the numismatic lottery. Proof coins from San Francisco are also worth mentioning. They were struck using special polished dies, resulting in mirror-like finishes and crisp details. Some of these were made in silver, and when kept in flawless condition, they command very strong prices among serious collectors. It's fascinating to think that a coin you've held in your hand 1,000 times without a second thought could actually be hiding one of these rare characteristics. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and some stories come with incredible surprises. So, how much can a 1996 Washington quarter really be worth if you happen to have the right one? While most will always remain worth just 25 cents, the rarest examples, those with dramatic minting errors or preserved in near-perfect condition, have stunned collectors and auction houses alike. One such rare piece has been valued as high as $80,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $80,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1996. That's why it's always worth looking a little closer at the change in your pocket. History, rarity, and beauty can all come together in something as small as a quarter, and if you're lucky, it could even change your life. Top 4. We're diving into the world of United States coins to explore a piece that many people overlook, the Washington quarter dollar from 1997. At first glance, it may look like any other coin you'd find in your pocket change, but as we peel back the layers, you'll see why some examples of this quarter have become so special in the eyes of collectors. Listen very carefully, because this might just be the coin that sparks your passion for hunting rare and valuable treasures. The Washington quarter has a long and rich history. First minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it became one of the most iconic and recognizable coins in American circulation. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features the proud profile of the nation's first president, while the reverse at that time carried the bold American eagle, wings spread wide in a symbol of strength and independence. By 1997, the quarter had already been around for 65 years, faithfully serving the American public as one of the most used denominations in daily life. But 1997 is not just any year. It holds a unique place in the history of the quarter because it was the final year before the United States Mint launched the revolutionary 50-state quarters program in 1999. Collectors know that coins minted just before major transitions often carry added interest, as they represent the end of an era. The 1997 quarter is a perfect example of this. and it has become increasingly collectible as time goes on. Now let's talk about mint marks. In 1997, the quarters were struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark, in Denver with the D mint mark, and in San Francisco with the S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced beautiful proof coins, both clad in silver, specifically for collectors. While the circulation strikes were produced in the hundreds of millions, it's the condition and the rare errors that make certain pieces worth far more than face value. Condition is one of the first things that sets a valuable coin apart from the rest. If your 1997 quarter has been through countless hands, has scratches, worn-down details, or discoloration, it will most likely stay at 25 cents. But if it has been carefully preserved and graded by a professional service at a top level like MS-67 or MS-68, then you're looking at something far rarer. These top-quality examples often command strong prices because there are so few in existence compared to the millions that saw heavy use in circulation. But here's where it gets really exciting: the errors. Minting errors are like hidden treasures that turn ordinary coins into extraordinary finds. Some 1997 quarters show double die errors, where the inscriptions or even the date look doubled under magnification. These can be striking and immediately catch the eye of collectors. Another type of error that exists is the off-center strike. If the blank planchet wasn't perfectly aligned in the press, part of the design is shifted, leaving a blank crescent on the coin. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the value. Then we have missing clad layer errors, which reveal the copper core underneath, giving the coin a dramatic two-tone look that collectors absolutely love. Even more rare are wrong planchet errors, when a quarter design was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for another denomination such as a dime or even a foreign coin. These mistakes are extremely scarce and can sell for jaw-dropping amounts at auction. Let's not forget proof coins. The San Francisco Mint struck proof versions of the 1997 quarter using special dies, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Silver-proof versions in particular have become highly sought after, especially in pristine condition with no blemishes. So, what does all this mean for collectors and coin enthusiasts today? It means that the 1997 Washington quarter, though common in circulation, hides incredible potential. Whether it's a pristine mint state coin, a rare error, or a dazzling proof specimen, these coins remind us why collecting is so thrilling. You never know when a small detail could turn an ordinary quarter into a prized treasure. And now, the part you've been waiting for. How much can a 1997 Washington quarter really be worth? While most will remain worth 25 cents, the rarest examples, those in top condition or with dramatic minting errors, have shocked collectors by reaching values as high as $77,000. Yes, you heard that right, $77,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1997. So the next time you see one of these coins, don't just pass it by. Take a closer look. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Top 5. We're going to talk about a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but carries with it a fascinating story and, in rare cases, a surprising amount of value: the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1998. Now, before you toss that quarter back into your pocket change, listen carefully, because some of these coins have proven to be highly collectible and extremely valuable. This is one video you'll want to enjoy until the very end. The Washington quarter has been part of American coinage since 1932, when it was introduced to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse features Washington's proud profile, while the reverse for most of the 20th century displayed a bold American eagle perched on a bundle of arrows. By 1998, the coin had already been in circulation for over 60 years, making it one of the longest-running designs in American history. But here's what makes 1998 special: it was the very last year that the Eagle reverse was issued before the United States Mint launched the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999. That fact alone makes the 1998 quarter a kind of final chapter in a long numismatic story. In 1998, the quarters were struck at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins bear the D, and San Francisco struck beautiful proof coins with the S mint mark. Some of these proof coins were clad, while others were struck in 90% silver, making them especially attractive to collectors. Millions of these coins entered circulation, but the real magic is in the condition and the presence of minting errors. Condition plays a huge role in a coin's value. A 1998 quarter that has been through countless hands, showing scratches, dullness, or wear, is worth only face value. But if you find one in pristine mint state condition, graded MS67 or higher by a professional service, it immediately becomes far rarer. Only a small number of coins survive in such perfect shape, and those examples can fetch very strong prices. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, minting errors. Errors are what turn ordinary coins into numismatic treasures. Among the 1998 quarters, one of the most desirable errors is the double die, where the inscriptions or even the numbers in the date appear doubled under magnification. Another popular error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing and a blank crescent of metal is visible. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the higher the value. There are also missing clad layer errors. Since quarters are made with a copper core and a nickel-clad surface, sometimes that outer layer fails to bond properly. This leaves one side of the coin showing a reddish copper tone, a very unusual look that collectors love. And then there are wrong planchet errors, where the design of a quarter was accidentally struck on a blank intended for a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin. These are among the rarest and most exciting errors you can find. Let's not forget proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. Proofs are struck with specially polished dies and feature mirror-like fields and frosted details. The silver-proof versions are especially prized, and when kept in perfect condition, they can add significant value to a collection. All of these factors, its place in history, its final year status before the state quarter program, its condition, and the possibility of dramatic errors, make the 1998 Washington quarter one of the most interesting modern coins for collectors to study and search for. So, what about its value? While most 1998 quarters will remain worth just 25 cents, the rarest examples, those preserved in perfect condition or struck with dramatic errors, have amazed collectors and even shocked auction houses with their final selling prices. Believe it or not, some of these rare 1998 quarters have been valued at as much as $73,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $73,000 for a single Washington quarter dollar from 1998. So the next time you come across this coin, don't overlook it. Take a close look at the details, check for errors, and consider its condition. You might just be holding a small piece of history, and maybe even a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more fascinating coin stories, and ring the bell so you never miss our next discovery. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin find be your treasure.